Am I too late to this? Nah, you can never be too late to a Markiplier video. Hey everyone, it's Clown Crown Critic here, back at it with another video. This time I thought I'd take this in a different direction. No ulterior motives at all for that. I wanted to do something a little bit different, because everyone's definitely not done an Ireland review video at this point. But I wanted to take a look at this because I love horror. I have done since growing up. It's been a childhood pleasure of mine to get scared, get the adrenaline pumping, hide under the covers when you think there's a monster underneath the bed because you just watched a Dead Space Isaac Clarke getting nailed montage or whatever else it is you're watching on YouTube when you're 12 years old. So let's take a little look at Iron Lung and what can I offer that's a little different to the commentary so far on it. There's a creek. You feel the drip, dripping of something wet. This is impossible. This is pointless. Humanity is on the verge of collapse. After all of our greatest endeavours, we will falter with a hushed whisper. The final red-hot ember from our passions as the human race dying out. A dark, bleak, and unforgiving death. For the universe does not care. There's a lot of discussion and representation, even false representation of things like Nietzschean philosophy, of cosmic horror, and other related ideas floating around that vast expanse. Ah yes, Nietzsche talks about this in his works. Have you read Nietzsche? No. Have you? Never. From the cringe, wannabe, depressed nihilist teenagers who think they've got it all worked out, to the Rick and Morty absurdisms, Nietzschean philosophy is sometimes, well, a lot of the time, falsely represented. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know everything about it myself. Have I read his works? No, not really. So, let's relate it to Iron Lung though, and the cosmic horror ideals. Cosmic horror, what actually is it? Well, the pioneer H.P. Lovecraft, he has that famous quote, which talks about how the greatest fear is what we are uncertain of. And if we look at Iron Lung for a minute, it really encapsulates this fear of the uncertainty. We never fully see the monster, the demon, the evil entity that is causing our protagonist the fear, the tension, and the dread. Unlike in other media which do show it, and after which point it never quite has the same kick or bite as it did prior to this big reveal moment. In Iron Lung, whether it's the game or the film, you never quite spot it, you never quite fully understand it, and that mystery around it, that kind of mist around the form, the intentions of it, that's what really builds the horror and the dread. And that's what really cosmic horror is all about. The dripping returns. This time, it feels different. You look down and you notice it doesn't look like water. No, this isn't condensation. This is something different. You turn around and you see the impossible. You see his island. Now, Iron Lung does do it, albeit to a minimalist degree. It does have that starting sequence, that little opening part of text that does kind of, in a way, explicitly tell us the premise of the film and how it will directly tie into cosmic horror. The inferiority of humanity and the dwindling population of him as a whole, the unexplained mystery and catastrophe behind the stars and the civilizations disappearing, how the human race is on its last legs now, its very last few survivors, but rather than banding together in an aid of hope, instead they're turning individualist, they're turning on each other. There's this war that breaks out, there's this incident, and as a result we get to our protagonist, Simon, who is forced into the submarine, who is forced to go under, forced to collect these samples, of which we never really fully know the intention behind, but that just adds to the air of mystery surrounding the film. The sense of, why am I doing this? Will I actually be able to escape this situation? What am I bargaining for? What can I bargain with? The lack of control, the confusion, only adds to the dread, it adds to the fear, and it makes it a true horror experience. Let's now refocus in on the film itself. Iron Lung, Markiplier's magnum opus. Can Big Mark pull it out of the bag, or was it a flopper? Overall, I enjoyed it. Unlike the critics, and much in common with the rest of the fans, I think it was very much tailored towards fans of the original game. It isn't like a conventional film. I think if you're going in there expecting a conventional film with all the typical character arcs you'd get and, dramas and whatnot, you're not going to be as well entertained. It's not even a conventional horror film, I would argue. It's very different. I almost like to think of it as a bit of a 4D immersive experience, like London Dungeons vibes if you live in England, ever been to that. It pulls you right into the claustrophobic horror. And everything from the visuals, the set design, and hands down the music are some of the strongest aspects. They really nail the eerie, oppressive atmosphere of being trapped in a decrepit submarine surrounded in a blood ocean. It's experimental horror / thriller at its core. It's perfect for anyone who's craving something different from the normal horror slop that we get served up nowadays. The script and acting are solid overall. I think Markiplier did a great job as Simon, especially considering he doesn't have exactly the most extensive acting background. I know he's had a couple other tidbits here and there with like YouTube Red series and whatnot. There were a few lines that felt a little less authentic or immersive, I could say, but nothing that broke the spell. And the rest of the cast, albeit small and in terms of their roles they play, they hold it together superbly well. I think my biggest gripe would actually be that I just wanted more. I wanted more detail, more story, and more background, which I know sounds funny, considering that the film itself is well over 2 hours, which is surprisingly long for a film where, no spoilers here, but most of it takes place within the submarine itself. We do get some hints of the world's desperation, humanity's struggle, as I previously mentioned. However, I really crave deeper dives into Simon's wound, his want and his need, those traditional screenwriting aspects that are crucial for characters. It leaves you hungry for context, which does add to the tension, the mystery, but you could argue it frustrates a little bit. I think overall the biggest issue with the film though was the sound mixing. Now, I do get that it adds to the realism by having the crackly static and the audio, the lines, the vocals being misheard from the radios. However, it does feel like there was a couple crucial dialogue lines that might have been exploring or letting us know a bit more about Simon and the world and other characters, or even about their intentions in the very moment where everything's getting chaotic, that I think might have added to the audience's investment into the characters. So, a bit of a flaw, but it does help the organic and immersiveness of the film itself. It really enhanced that raw, unpredictable edge of it. So, overall, does the film stand alone? Because, uniquely enough, I watched the film before I played the game. Gasp. I know. Since I've recorded this video, I have actually found the time, believe it or not, to go and play the game. And the game itself is all about the isolation. It relies on immersion. It relies on the imagination of the player in order to feel the horror, in order to envisage the dread, because you never see it, but it's reliant on the fact that your imagination is always going to craft something worse, more horrific, more dreadful than what you could ever see. And I think this is quite true for the target audience. See, I actually teach, I work in a school, and a few of my students, a few 13-year-olds were talking about Iron. It was the talk of the town, talk of the classroom, so to speak. And one of them mentioned to me that he wanted to watch the film, but he couldn't, and he was trying to play the game, and he told me he wanted to play the game, and I was like, oh, I've seen the film, I enjoyed it, and he was very jealous because it's a 15. Poor little Timmy couldn't go see it. I'm just making up a name for him. And he told me he eventually got hold of the game and he played it, and he told me he hated it. It was very boring. He said he preferred Resident Evil, something like that, where you can see the horror is there. He said he didn't like that there was nothing actually inside the submarine chasing after him, which I found really interesting, because you've got this school of thought that Iron is the most terrifying game ever. I don't know if I belong to that school of thought. I think it is a scary game. I like it. It's different. But I can see how, to some people, it might not sink. It might not strike that horror chord. But in terms of the film adapting that premise for the game, again, I think it's doing an incredible job in terms of putting a filmic variant on that horror style. Again, you imagine it to be worse than what it actually is. And I agree with the common man's consensus. Yes, it does stand alone. It was a fantastic film. You don't even have to have played the game, you just have to enjoy being scared. And if you're into that, if you like horror, thriller, or being scared in general, I would absolutely recommend the film. Game knowledge does help, I'd argue, with Easter eggs and appreciation of, the way they've brought it to life, this game, especially with the limited visuals, although I am a fan for those pixelated styles, but I know not everyone is. At its core, it is a story of isolation and cosmic dread. It's not for everyone, but it's worth a watch for something unconventional. Overall, if you're looking for a bloody good time, you'll enjoy it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It does help me out. It helps the channel grow, which I think it could do with a lot of growing. And let me know if there's anything you'd like me to deep dive or go into next. I've been enjoying getting back into horror recently, and I'd like some recommendations. So if you've got any going, let me know. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.